Hi guys, I'm Ali Chaudhary, founder of Locums United. Here I have with me Jessica Patel, who works full-time locums with us at Locums United. Welcome, Jessica. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm good. How are you?
Good to have you as well. Good to see you. I wasn't expecting to see you here, so it's always good to run into doctors that are working with us.
Yeah, no, it's great.
So tell us more about your journey. You are how many years out of residency?
2 years out of residency.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where did you train?
I trained at Bay State Medical Center in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how was that? 4-year program? 3 years?
It's a 3-year program. Yeah.
Okay. And what did you know about locums, or did you know anything about locums before you graduated?
Only just a little bit at kind of similar conferences like this. I kind of talked to a couple of recruiters.
Just a little bit. The one's clearing that up. Yeah. Let me stick that for you. Oops, sorry.
No, you're fine.
There you go.
Just a little bit going to similar conferences like this. I talked to some recruiters. And so it's always kind of in the back of my mind. But yeah. No.
What made you make that sort of switch? Did you start off as an employee when you graduated, or?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. So I was doing a fellowship in global health. And so now kind of making that jump was more kind of wanting flexibility, especially as a person who's interested in global health. You don't really always get that 1 month, 2 months time off to do a project and stuff like that as a W-2 employee. So locums was attractive in that sense as well.
How did you know that you were going to have freedom with locums? What gave you that impression?
So just kind of talking again to recruiters and some things that I've seen online, talking to you as well, and seeing your post on
You're on Doc Jobs, right?
Yeah, EM Doc Jobs. Okay. So I'm always seeing those posts online and just seeing how people, one, they praised the company itself. So I was like, okay, this seems like a good person to talk to. But then just seeing how everyone can make their own shifts and their schedules, and there's a lot of flexibility there. So that seemed attractive as well.
Awesome. What were some hangups that you might have had before you started doing locums? Were there any? And if so, how did you overcome them? Like insurance or benefits? What were some hangups that you might have had before, and what helped you get over that?
Honestly, I think the biggest thing for me it was a learning curve in terms of like setting up your own business and what kind of business. So I think that was more what I was interested in and trying to learn. So I really just had to talk to a bunch of CPAs and trying to figure out what I needed to do for myself.
You did your homework?
I did my homework, basically, right. Yeah. I did a lot of reading on blogs and stuff like that.
Was it hard?
It was just a learning curve.
I would say. A little bit of time just to learn, right?
Yeah, and I feel like even still, this whole first year is going to be a learning curve.
Yeah.
So
this is your. When did you start doing locums?
This year, yeah.
In March.
So, yeah.
Oh, so just about a month or two ago. Yeah. Okay. And did you transition from your full-time job to this, or are you doing this in addition to your full-time job?
Transitioning, yeah, into this full-time.
So do you still have your W-2?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Until the end of June.
Gotcha. And are you does that not make you nervous to leave your full-time job and go into full-time locums?
Yeah, it does.
What are some things that make you nervous about that?
Honestly, like the locums is kind of, it's fluid. So you could have a contract and then you could lose the contract, or, it just ends after, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. So you're kind of always having to look for another position or, whereas a W-2, you're there, everything's fixed. You don't have to worry about your schedule. So that
you have no control over your schedule.
But you do also not have control. So that has been a definite perk. I can just send my availability and, have all the free time if I want it, which is amazing. But yeah, I would say that made me nervous, just kind of wondering if I was going to get shifts, how many shifts was I going to get? Was it going to be enough? So yeah.
I think one of the ways that I always teach docs that work with us, make sure you have at least 2 gigs that you're signed up for at any given time.
Yeah. Especially
if you're full-time. If you're doing a part-time or in addition to your full-time work, it's not as necessary. But if it's all you're doing, then you definitely want to have at least 2, ideally 3.
Yeah, for sure.
And the reason for that, in case something gets, the sites get fully staffed sometimes. And so you never want to be in a position where you're not having income. Mm-hmm. So that way you can always say you work 3 sites, right? Maybe you offer 2 or 3 shifts a month at one site, 5 or 6 at another, 5 or 6 at the third one. One of them dries up. You still have other 2 that you can scale up a little bit on the shifts that you're giving them, so that way you're still getting your full-time hours.
Definitely.
And then you start looking for your third one once that one dries up a little bit.
Yeah.
It makes sense?
Yeah.
Because I always teach residents and doctors that are new to this, you need to diversify your risk.
Yeah.
They talk about this in like finance and other things like that. Like you don't invest all your money in one stock, right?
Exactly.
And so by doing the W-2 work, for example, you're not diversifying at all. You're putting all your chips in the basket of that employed job.
Right.
But what if that employed job, that contract is taken over by a contract management group?
Right.
Or if it's an independent group that they're absorbed as the hospital employees. Happens all the time.
Yeah.
Right. So there's no real stability in that. You have no option at that point. then you have to kind of just scramble for whatever is
Pivot
remaining.
somewhere, yeah.
Exactly. So you're what now? Doing locum shifts. How has been your experience in doing shifts in terms of this overall?
It's been great. Honestly, it's been a good change of pace. The medical director there, everyone that I've met so far has been fantastic.
Awesome. Is there a dumpster fire site?
No, it's not.
Everyone says that one of the reasons why they don't want to do locums is because they heard from people who don't do locums.
Someone told me this yesterday too, and I was like, you don't even understand. I think that's one of the pitfalls of why people don't want to do it. It probably has a bad track record, but I think I got like a diamond in the rough or something because everyone's super nice. It's a teamwork environment. And so I'm lucky. But
I've worked locums for 10 years full time. There's only one site out of the dozen that I've been at as a locum that was a dumpster fire.
Yeah. Okay.
So some other people have had worse luck, I guess. And for me, the great thing is, look, if you go to one, don't go back.
Right.
Right? You're not stuck or not obligated to stay there. You can always just move on and just say, look, guys, I've did my shifts. I'm not going to come back next month. This place is not where type of place that I want to be at.
Right.
The locum jobs that I'm at right now, guess how long I've been there?
6 months.
6 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
6 years, 3 of them, the last 3 as a full-time locum.
Okay.
So I started off doing some shifts there and I had a couple other shifts other places, but now I've been doing full-time locums at the same site for 6 years.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
This is not an anomaly.
Yeah.
Like some of the other sites that we have in Pennsylvania and some other states, our docs have been working there for 3-4 years as a locum.
Yeah.
So there's not like this thing like where, the thing is there's not enough of us to go around.
Right, yeah.
The need in the hospital is greater than the number of people that can actually provide the service.
Yeah.
So as physicians, I always teach us, like, look, we need to play that supply-demand tension into our own favor.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Yeah.
The supply is low, the demand is high. If we leverage that the right way, which you can do as a locum, because then you can kind of say, okay, this is what my rate is going to be. It's not going to be less than $300 an hour. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not getting out of bed. So once you start understanding that, now you only start taking sites and you can become somewhat more picky, in terms of just which sites you pick and the amount of the rate, right? Yeah. So now you're not going to take, you're getting paid pretty well. We don't have to talk about the rate, but we're taking care of you there. Would you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. And so, part of the goal for us was to just really, look, I still work clinically, is to make sure the people that I work with and who've gone through the trenches like me, we're all getting paid.
Yeah.
Because the other companies that are out there are not going to do that.
Right.
They're going to start you off at the lowest. Let me ask you a question. Did you have to negotiate with us to get the rate that you're getting, which is top 1% of ER?
No.
Any negotiation?
Not really. I wasn't even gonna.
There was not.
Yeah.
Why was that?
Because it was already a rate that I hadn't seen before, so there was no reason that I was going to push that envelope at all. Right. Yeah.
So if you're part of that group, you'll probably start seeing EMDoc jobs, right? Yeah. You'll see posts that we post. You'll see posts that other companies and hospital systems post. So then you can kind of compare and contrast, right?
Yeah.
Was that something that you kind of looked at?
And I've been a part of that group for like many years now, and so I was always kind of like, stalking it slowly.
It's a good way to kind of just gauge what the marketplace is like.
Yeah.
Right. Just to kind of see what's out there.
Exactly.
What's been your biggest challenge for locums? Locums.
Honestly, I think it was really just figuring out the business aspect beforehand.
Okay.
That made me just a little nervous because it was something that we don't really get taught beforehand.
Like setting up like your entity and all that stuff?
Yeah. Okay. It was something that we don't get taught, and I didn't have many friends who were doing locums beforehand. Yeah. Whereas like when you're in residency, you have everyone that you can ask and you kind of go through the whole process together, fellowship, same thing.
Mm-hmm. But you have guidance. But once you're done with residency,
everything
zero
just stops.
Guidance. Yeah.
So, going into that space, and then when you try to ask, a different attending or some like a mentor, they're like, oh, I don't know anyone who does locums. Like, why are you trying to do that? Why are you thinking
What's
about
wrong
it?
with
Yeah.
you? Right?
You're like, you're fellowship trained, stay in an academic position. Like, what are you doing?
Get paid half of what you get paid now.
Yeah. So
or less.
That kind of space and navigating all of that was probably just a challenge for me because it was all by myself. I wanted to make sure I was making the right decisions. I had like a friend was. I had a friend of a friend kind of like had been in the space, but not full time. So
you would say lack of mentorship was probably a big challenge in terms of making that transition?
Yeah, and making sure like it was something that I should do. Because it felt like I was the only person kind of jumping out of this, pathway that we're supposed to be on. So yeah that was a big.
And are you happy with your decision?
Yeah.
I guess you would be because now you're transitioning to locum full time,
full
right?
time now. Yeah.
What are your aspirations? What do you hope to do with your freedom and flexibility that you have now to create your own schedule?
Yeah.
You said you did a fellowship in global medicine.
Yeah.
Is that something that you want to do more of? Do you want to just
Definitely.
travel outside of that? What do you what's your plans?
Honestly, it just kind of becoming a human again, which sounds lame.
Not at all.
But I feel like when you're in residency and you're in fellowship, I also got my master's when I was in fellowship. So it's like,
Oh, wow.
you just
You're
don't
an
have,
overachiever.
you just
We have
don't
an
have,
overachiever here, guys.
you don't have that much time to do things that you enjoy. And so it's like getting back into your hobbies, getting back into things that you like.
Rediscovering yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll talk about, and I talk about that in the book too.
Yeah.
Which the importance of after graduating residency, of reconnecting with who you are.
Yeah.
Because you kind of, like you said, you forget because you have nothing else to do. You have to focus
You're just
100%
studying the
of your
whole
time,
time. And
right?
yeah.
Isn't it kind of exciting though?
It's fun.
To kind of learn about yourself again. It's like, oh
People
wow, what
ask
do I
me
like
what
to
are
do
my
now?
hobbies, and I'm like, I like to travel, and what else do I like? I'm like, do I like to do art? I don't think so, but let's try it.
Try it.
Yeah.
Now you have the flexibility, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And do you, what would be some words of advice that you would give to someone maybe in your position as a third-year resident who's thinking about locums and not sure, on the fence about it? What would you give, some advice that you would give them?
I would say be open-minded, talk to people, don't kind of stay pigeonholed in one idea or one pathway just because that's all you know.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like go on the blogs, go on doc jobs, go talk to people at these conferences, and just, put your name out there and talk to people because you never know what else is out there.
Pick up the book, The Locum Revolution, as you can see back here.
Yeah.
And join the community. We're actually starting a locum community online.
Oh, awesome. Perfect.
Did I send you access to that yet?
No, sign me up though.
Okay, I'm going to send you a link. Jay, Julius, just make sure real quick that we send her the link for the school community. Yeah.
All right.
We've created an entire community of locums, and people want to do things that are bigger beyond medicine.
Yeah.
And it sounds like there's a lot of things that you want to do as well. So we want to create an insulated community where we can all exchange ideas and really just help each other grow and reach our full potential.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you'd like to be part of that, we'll send you an invitation.
Awesome.
Sounds good?
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for
All
having
right.
me.